one, I bring a different tone to the meeting this evening. My name is Gladys Cooper. I've been on the Danbury Board of Ed for over 15 years. This will be my second time coming before the town committee. This one is not as much, more or less to bring you up on educational issues. There's a concern individually that I would like to bring to you. Number one, the Board of Ed election that took place on December 6, 2006. Okay. At some point, if you have a time limit, I don't think I'll go over 3 minutes, but I'll do the best I can. I'm going to start off. My name again is Gladys Cooper. I've been a member of the Danbury Board of Education, representing the Democratic Party, serving as chairperson of the Danbury Board of Ed for 1 year, and that year was 2003. I've served on numerous committees with a near perfect attendance, missing only 4 meetings in 15 years. And that included all the subcommittees that I was on and all the various other committees. As everyone is aware, and it has appeared in the Danbury News Times, and this is the reason I'm here, because I feel like I owe you an explanation as to why I walked out of the last election. I sent the chairperson a letter asking him if it was possible that I could speak tonight. I did not get any communication back from him stating that he had received my communication.
Excuse me, did you indicate you sent me a letter?
Yes.
I never received a letter.
It's dated December the 19th.
Did you send it to my home address or the PO box?
I sent it here.
Send it to where?
I sent it to the Democratic Town Committee, 161 Main Street.
We don't have a mailbox, we have a PO box.
So
We don't get mail at 161 Main Street.
Well,
So I'm sorry, I didn't get it. Obviously, you're more than welcome to continue. You are a local official. I'll apologize, I never got it.
Okay. As everyone aware, and it appeared in the Danbury News Times in December 7th, that I walked out of the meeting. So I'm going to go through a few steps to let you know why I walked out. For 14 of my 15-year history with the school board, there has been a clearly defined process relating to presentation of the slate and election of officers. That process included meeting with the town committee to discuss the slate, take a party position to support that slate, present a united front at the election to vote in the slate of officers. And I know this process well, as about 10 years ago, I was challenged by the town committee regarding my vote for a Republican, and was clearly told never to do that again. Since that time, 10 years ago, while I may not have agreed with the nominees, I completely support the decision for the sake of the party. Leading to last year, I wanted to make a bid for the chairperson of the board. At our meeting, I was told directly that I was expected to support the recommended candidate for the position. And if I did not support that candidate, I would never run on the Democratic ticket. I was further told that if I supported the candidate, I could expect support for my bid to run for chairperson in 2006. Now you say that the town committee did not agree. The 5 Democrats decided that they would do that, okay? I'm not going to call any names. I know people have the option to change their mind, but I'm just going to give you some history because I feel like out of 15 years that I have served on the board, I don't know who's pulling who's coattail, I don't know who's doing what, but there was clearly defined a process that the Democrats on the Board of Ed should have followed. It's 6 of us, 6 Democrats on the board. There were no needs. Last year, 2 of our seats was given to the Republican Party. Okay? This year, a decision again was given to a Republican to hold a position. And I clearly understand what was going on. Other people might not, but I understand. Okay? So, you know, this year, when the Democratic Town Committee requested a meeting of the Democratic members of the school board, some members refused to meet, and nothing was done to address that. And I believe that there should have been some leadership to bring those people, the 6 of us, together, and that did not happen. When I arrived at the election, and a colleague and I discussed the need to caucus, we were informed that there was no need since the slate had already been in place or had been decided. So I'm trying to tell you that 3 or 4 people out of 6 Democrats decided, along with some other people, because this is, from my seeing, being on the board for 15 years, this is bigger than me, okay? And whether some people say, you know, I've been on the board 15 years, maybe it's time for me to get off. But it's one thing that I can say. I love Danbury. I have cared for the children in this city, all children, since I have been on the board. I have tried to make motion, support things that will always make the board be an outstanding board in this city. Ultimately, when we caucused on December the 6th, we did caucus on December the 6th. We did caucus December the 6th at the Danbury High School. But it was made very clear to me, again, the person reiterated that the slate that had been selected would stand as it was, and I was not a part of that slate. The election process this year, based on my 15-year history, failed. And who takes ownership of that failure? Someone in leadership position obviously decided to exclude at least 2 Democratic board members for participating in identifying the slate. It was completely inappropriate behavior to have only select members decide on the slate of officers who would be in leadership and who would decide that they were so that they could say, no, I'm not going to come to a meeting. And they did not come. Okay. Last year, I got a telephone call that we was having the Board of Education 6 members were meeting down here on a Saturday. I got the call on a Thursday night. Eleanor called me Thursday afternoon, okay? I said to her, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to make the meeting on Saturday. And the reason I said that to her was because my boss had given me a ticket to go represent the company that I work for, and that ticket was $50. So I was going to need some time to reschedule things so I could attend. But all of a sudden, word got out the next morning that I said I wasn't coming. But I came. So I don't know how all of this discussion come about. Number one, maybe my behavior is I expect people to treat me like I like to be treated. And I always try to treat people with common courtesy. Okay? It's not about the leadership part of the board, because I believe I can work with anyone. I'm talking about a process that is supposed to be in place. Okay? And if you want to bring other people in that look like me, maybe you don't want them to look like me. Okay? You have to extend your personality to them, whether you want to or not. We all hug and kiss one another when election time comes, but yet we can walk in a room with someone that we just seen, and that person might have voted for you, that are a different color, and you won't even open your mouth and speak to. Has it happened to me? Yes, it has. I'm almost done. I am known for speaking my mind and being direct. I'm proud of that, since I can never be accused of working behind someone's back. I have worked hard over the years, and although I voiced my opinion, have supported the party. It's not only a matter of party unity, it's a matter of respect. This year the process failed, and when at least 2 of us were excluded from discussing the slate of officers, you failed to demonstrate respect for us as individuals, and I know that I deserve better than that.
Question. Who excluded you?
The 3 people that made the decision. Somebody made the decision. Because the people, Joe, what happened? What happened? No one called and said we was going to come down here and meet as a group. You, as chairperson of the town committee, could not have said to those 6 Democrats, you would come to meet.
Actually,
and it's not about who is the chairperson, it's about doing the right thing to people. And I'm going to leave you with one thought. Okay? As my minister read yesterday, as we was in the church service, this is what I really want to share with you. And I know that I'm not the funniest person, but I really try to do the best I can to get along with people. And I think some of us really need to examine ourselves, examine our thoughts, examine our actions, examine our motives, and examine our attitudes toward people that are different than you. Thank you.
I was not privy to the conference. I will indicate, however, that the reason why we did not have, and we're never going to have, all 6 board members here at the time, is we did an analysis. And to 6 members of the board, the 6 Democratic members of the Board of Education constitute a quorum.
But excuse me, Mr.
Excuse me,
Chairman.
I'm talking. I'm done. Call it. To meet with all 6 members could be construed as a public meeting and could be violative of the Freedom of Information Act as an unnoticed public hearing or public meeting. Therefore, it was determined that the only way to meet with the board was to do it in smaller groups than all 6 at one time. I made that offer to several members of the board. Gladys was interested in meeting. Several of the other members of the board indicated to myself and to the vice chairwoman that they were not interested. They did not think it was necessary. I offered on several occasions. One person did say, I am not mentioning any names, one person did say, I had no intention of coming. I am sure if we had had 5 members being willing, we could have probably leaned on the 6th person and gotten them to attend. And that said, most of the other members indicated, either to myself or a vice chair, that while they were certainly willing to, they didn't think it was necessary. But there was no time were we ever going to meet with 6. I know we've done it in the past. It was probably, nobody probably thought of it. It was probably not considered a big deal. But in light of the fact that it could be construed as a public meeting, we chose not to at any point consider caucusing with all 6 members. I'm sorry, Gladys.
Mr. Chairman, here my question will go back to you and the town committee. As we look at things that we have did, and we have been meeting for the last 10 to 12 years in a group of 6, and no one has picked that up, that we was violating the rules.
Because it was a violation of the law before, it doesn't, or because it was okay and we've done it and gotten away with it, doesn't mean we were going to be able to do it and get away with it now.
Okay.
It's still probably a FOIA violation.
So it comes back to me. My final state would be, what do you do when a person say, it's only 6 board members, okay, that they're not going to come? If I had said I was not going to come, I mean, it was all over town the next day that I said I wasn't going to come to the meeting, and all I was trying to do was judge my schedule last week. And to me, that's wrong. And we take other people. Number one, do the Democratic Town Committee want Democratic board members continuously putting in the Republicans? And I know we have to work with people, but there's a different way to work with people, okay? Last year we gave them 2 seats. There was no reason for that. This year we gave them another seat. And you know why we gave them another seat? Because they knew I wasn't going to support it. There's only 5 of them and 6 of us. So the Democrats can carry the board of ed. But it's somewhere in this little ball that someone says, well, we don't want Gladys Cooper. Okay? And that's what the overall ball game has been all these years. And you can take it for whatever it's worth. I'm angry. No, I'm not angry. I'm angry because of the disrespect and the time that I had put in. You tell me to do this, you come to meetings, you do this, you do what you're supposed to do on the board, then you have did everything to show that you can run for a position. But over 15 years, I got the opportunity one time, and that was the year 2003 that we brought in Dr. Eddie Davis. And after that happened, all I could hear was negative things. Negative things. And I think that was the best year that the board had had in a long time.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Gladys?
don't have a question, I just have a comment. I do want to comment on the fact that we did take into consideration, because I spoke to you, Joe, back in September that we should put the board together, and we had discussed the fact that you cannot get the board together because it does constitute a member of the government. So we had set up a system where
Yes,
we
we
would
did.
not have that. So the fact that that's not even an issue, because this body had discussed that, and we had a process in place that there would not be six board committee members in this building at any particular time.
Yes,
So
we agreed
that,
to.
that process of setting up a caucus is something that we have always paid attention to. And no, we hadn't done it in the past, because I was here last year in the caucus, and 6 members did not show up. I was here again this year to set up the same caucus, using myself, Kevin, and yourself as being part of the subcommittee. And that didn't take place, and I had asked, in fact, I had asked this last February on a very regular basis about the fact that we did not have a full slate of Democrats in the office of the only body that we hold a dominance in this city.